Now let's get it started. Let's get it started.
Play ball!
Chelsea played at the Stamford Bridge. They welcomed Jose Mourinho back at the Stamford Bridge. You could see how the fans were cheering him because he is one of their own. Obviously, Jose was one of their own. Yeah, it was unfortunate to consider an own goal because that game was basically even. They considered an own goal for Chelsea to win 1-0. But Maresca, I think, had back-to-back losses in the previous game, so he needed a win, and he got it against Jose Mourinho's Benfica.
Yeah, he needed a win, but I want to talk about the vessel through which that win came from.
Garnacho.
The much persecuted and with limited game time at Chelsea right now, Garnacho. Because Garnacho have been campaigning since they signed him that he should be getting game time, he should be starting, he should be brought on. What we've seen over the last 3 games because of this their red card fiasco now that whenever they concede, bro, you can jog all you want, you go back and want to sit on that bench.
Yes, because of the past 2 games, because of red card, he wasn't introduced in that game. So probably that's why Maresca look and become pity and make him just start today. Now before they can collect another red card, my guy no go play.
And they did it again. I think Noso said it yesterday, spot on, that Chelsea should work on their disciplinary action. I think he said
Yes.
and they got him. I think it's the 3rd red card now.
In a row.
In a row. So something is wrong with their
But
discipline.
again, I think that this one I will pity because it's 2 red cards and there was no
2 yellow cards.
2 yellow cards and there was no contact. I'll be honest with you. It's a reckless challenge, but to be honest, there was no contact.
What-
The
but
boost
sometimes-
shouldn't be that
But
high,
the
man.
referees check intent, even if it doesn't.
No, that's what I'm saying. The
So
intent,
that's why.
but again, there was no contact. There was no contact. But that guy is a bit dive.
That's
Again,
good.
another good player, the guy that considered the own goal. I'm going to say this was one of the best poor performance for him. I scouted that guy myself from Palmeiras last season. I was always chanting for him to come to England. Richard Rios. I chanted for him to come to England last season because I saw his performance over the World Club Cup and I saw his performance before then. And I feel like, okay, this guy's supposed to be England they play because he's physical, he's fast, he's a good defensive midfielder, and he can also carry the ball along. I was feeling like, okay, fine, maybe Man United is looking for Baleba 70 million or 150 million should sign him, or maybe he should come to West Ham.
Man United offer Haaland for 4 million how many years ago that didn't sign him? They won't be looking at the likes of
You're talking about Haaland.
They have already made now. It's a normal thing for me.
You get Haaland, Maguire they signed for 80 million and 4 million when he was at Hull City. But now the 80 million they signed him. So I feel like that guy, that was one of the errors. I'll have to forgive him for that. But again, this was a game that should have ended in a draw. Good one. Good one for Chelsea for getting the win. EPL all the way again.
Okay, but what do you make of Ty just starting? Because you know that they had 2 strikers, they had to let go of Jackson. Pedro came in, and the lab that was got injured. But George started this game, and Bonanote played behind him. This Chelsea team is not looking like it's a team that is spent $2 billion on. It's looking like an average team.
I told you yesterday, that's the problem when you have signing a lot of players. The coach gets confused, players get angry. Because if you told me yesterday on X that Badiashile will start with Chaloba, I won't believe it. There are players who you think might never play for Chelsea again. So seeing that thing happen yesterday, Terry George, I think I would trust making him start in a Champions League match against your former coach, against Benfica, is a very big boost for the guy's career. And seeing that, but I know he's not a bad player, but these are not the games you start these young boys for, because you have those other bigger boys on the play. I think all the coaches too are looking at it, okay, weekend is coming. That's why Salah could be on the bench for Liverpool. Weekend is coming, we're going to be playing because they know the Premier League is looking like we're already losing points already. 6 points already going. So we need to meet up. But he's starting yesterday, no problem with me. But Chelsea needs to look at what they are doing. Now, like we said last day, for the Chelsea side, they don't look like they signed that kind of players at all. And a draw would have been a perfect result for this guy, but will go happy.
But if you look at it, you cannot even talk about the next game. When you look at people they have on the bench, they don't even get players for bench, so you cannot say they are resting players.
So where is the 2 billion?
The new striker was on the bench now.
Pedro was on the bench yesterday. Reece James was on the bench yesterday. What are you saying? Estevao.
Those are the big boys to play against Liverpool now. So they don't mind Champions League. I just wonder for the coaches. So I look at the coaches, I don't know what's going on with coaches' mindset.
You.
What are
Again, I feel like normally players need rest. And we've seen Terry George play as a striker. I've seen him play from the flanks. He's not that bad. Academy graduate, not that bad.
Because of 1 goal he managed to score when he was thrown into the...
I will tell you, it's not about the goals. It's about the performance you put in, the runs you make, the tackles you make.
No. For striker, it's about the goals.
It's not about the goals.
You.
Bros, if you're even this boy now.
If your team, you're correct.
If you not score 20 goals minimum, it's a failure. This is let him have the best odor play in the world.
If you like,
striker to score goals.
If your team is not creating for you. If your team is not creating,
how is that my problem? Not because sign them. Tariq Joy said he scored 1 goal. He said striker should score goals.
I'm
João
just saying,
Pedro
maybe
came in
striker,
and
they
started
convert
scoring
am
for
na
Chelsea.
from flank.
And that's how he nailed that
It
starting
should be on the,
position at
I don't know why you're
Chelsea.
saving
just
players
saying-
on
I'm
a
just
Tuesday. You're playing on Saturday. You're saving players on a Tuesday, and you're playing at home. What are you saving players for? If Liverpool that traveled away, I can okay because they 1 day of trip rest. You play on Saturday again. Okay, I understand. But you are playing at home against Mourinho, against Benfica. Play your best 11 because that's what they say. They go end up 14 because they play playoff for Champions League.
Okay, it was a fantastic goal. Jose Mourinho came back and he couldn't get a point. He almost got a point.
Almost.
He just scored an own goal. It was an even game. If you look at the statistics in this game, it was basically an even game. For Chelsea, they had 8 shots in total. 3 were on target. It was a very poor game for both teams. 57% possession, 514 passes. For Jose Mourinho's team, 9 shots, more shots than Chelsea, but 3 of them were on target. 43% possession, 402 passes, 82 of them were accurate. So it was basically even game. So a point would have been fair for both teams, but Chelsea somehow got 3 points and probably a let off for maresca a little bit, because he's going to play a big game against Liverpool. He needs to get a result. If not, Chelsea fans will just chop out. But in this particular game, they won this game against Jose Mourinho's Benfica 1-0. Wait, have you subscribed? Please subscribe to the channel now. As I'm talking to you, please subscribe to the channel. Remember to like, comment, and share this video.